In a world where emotions often run high and relationships can become complicated by misunderstandings, miscommunications, and unmet expectations, Stoicism offers a powerful framework for navigating the complexities of human interactions with wisdom, clarity, and integrity. Rooted in ancient philosophy, Stoicism teaches us to live in accordance with nature, to cultivate virtue, and to maintain a sense of inner peace regardless of external circumstances. These teachings are not only relevant to personal growth and self-mastery, but also to how we relate to others, particularly in the context of romantic relationships. 1. Do not manipulate her emotions. One of the most critical teachings of Stoicism is the emphasis on living in harmony with nature and reason, recognizing that our actions should be guided by virtue rather than by selfish desires or manipulative tactics. When a man chooses to manipulate a woman's emotions, he is engaging in a profound betrayal not only of her trust but also of the Stoic ideals that call for honesty, integrity, and respect for others' autonomy. Emotional manipulation can take many forms, whether it be through guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or playing on her insecurities, and each method serves to undermine her sense of self and her ability to make autonomous decisions. This kind of behavior is antithetical to the Stoic practice of self-control and rationality, as it relies on deceit and coercion rather than open communication and mutual respect. Moreover, manipulating a woman's emotions is a sign of insecurity and fear within the man himself, fear of losing control, fear of being vulnerable, or fear of facing the truth of the relationship. A Stoic man, however, understands that true strength lies in being forthright and transparent, even when it is difficult or uncomfortable. He recognizes that a relationship built on manipulation is ultimately fragile and unsustainable, as it is founded on falsehoods and hidden agendas. Instead of resorting to manipulation, a Stoic man seeks to create an environment of trust, where both parties feel secure in expressing their true selves and where the relationship can grow organically and healthily. He understands that while manipulation might yield short-term gains, it comes at the cost of long-term harmony and mutual respect, which are far more valuable in any meaningful relationship. Thus, a Stoic man refrains from any form of emotional manipulation, choosing instead to engage with a woman as an equal partner, respecting her autonomy, her emotions, and her capacity for making her own decisions. 2. Do not disrespect her opinions. In the realm of Stoicism, wisdom is considered one of the highest virtues, and this wisdom includes the understanding that while we may not have control over external events or the opinions of others, we do have control over our reactions and attitudes toward them. Disrespecting a woman's opinions is a clear demonstration of a lack of wisdom and maturity, as it reveals an inability to appreciate the diversity of thought and the value that different perspectives can bring to a relationship. When a man dismisses or belittles a woman's opinions, he not only undermines her confidence and sense of self-worth, but also closes himself off to the potential growth and learning that can come from engaging with ideas that challenge his own. A Stoic man recognizes that every individual, regardless of gender, has the right to their own thoughts and perspectives, and that these opinions are shaped by their unique experiences, values, and insights. Disrespecting a woman's opinions is, therefore, a form of arrogance and a failure to practice the Stoic principle of humility, which teaches that we should approach others with an open mind and a willingness to listen and learn. Furthermore, a Stoic man understands that differences in opinion are not only natural but also beneficial, as they can lead to deeper understanding, personal growth, and stronger relationships. By respecting her viewpoints, even when they differ from his own, he demonstrates true inner strength and confidence in his ability to engage in meaningful dialogue without feeling threatened or defensive. Disrespecting her opinions also damages the foundation of trust and mutual respect that is essential for any healthy relationship. It creates an environment of inequality and discord, where one person's voice is valued over another's, leading to resentment and alienation. Therefore, a Stoic man listens carefully, considers thoughtfully, and responds with kindness and respect, knowing that by doing so, he is not only honoring the woman's dignity but also enriching his own understanding and growth. 3. Do not neglect her needs. A fundamental tenet of Stoicism is the practice of justice, which involves treating others with fairness, consideration, and empathy. Neglecting a woman's needs, whether they be emotional, physical, psychological, or spiritual, is a profound injustice that contradicts the Stoic commitment to living a virtuous life. A Stoic man understands that every individual, including the woman in his life, has needs that are vital to their well-being and happiness, and to neglect these needs is to deny them the care and attention they deserve as human beings. Neglect can manifest in many ways, from failing to communicate effectively and not providing emotional support, to disregarding her personal aspirations and goals. Each of these forms of neglect is harmful and diminishes the quality of the relationship, as it erodes the trust, respect, and connection that are essential for a meaningful partnership. A Stoic man is attentive to the needs of others, not out of a sense of obligation or duty, but out of a genuine desire to act justly and to contribute positively to the lives of those around him. He recognizes that neglect is a passive form of harm, and harming others is contrary to the Stoic pursuit of virtue and moral excellence. By being mindful and responsive to a woman's needs, he demonstrates that he values her well-being as much as his own, and that he is committed to nurturing a relationship that is balanced, fulfilling, and mutually supportive. Neglect is also a sign of indifference, and indifference can quickly lead to a breakdown in the relationship, as it signals a lack of investment and care. A Stoic man avoids this by actively engaging with his partner, taking the time to understand her needs, and making the effort to meet them whenever possible. He knows that by doing so, he is not only practicing justice, but also fostering a relationship that is built on a foundation of love, respect, and shared values. 4. Do not let anger control you. Anger is one of the most destructive emotions, according to Stoic philosophy, as it clouds judgment, fuels irrational actions, and often leads to harm and regret. A Stoic man understands the importance of maintaining control over his emotions, especially anger, when interacting with a woman. Allowing anger to dictate his behavior can cause significant damage to the relationship, leading to unnecessary conflicts, hurt feelings, and a breakdown in communication. Anger often arises from unmet expectations, perceived slights, or a desire for control, none of which are conducive to a healthy and harmonious relationship. A Stoic man recognizes that he cannot control the actions, thoughts, or feelings of others, including the woman in his life, but he can control how he responds to them. This understanding is central to the Stoic practice of self-discipline and emotional resilience. By not letting anger take hold, he is able to approach situations with clarity, patience, and reason, rather than with impulsivity and aggression. Anger is also a sign of weakness, as it indicates a lack of control over one's own mind and emotions. A Stoic man strives for strength through calmness and understanding, knowing that true power lies in the ability to remain composed and rational in the face of provocation or adversity. When faced with situations that might provoke anger, he pauses, reflects, and chooses to respond in a way that is measured, just, and aligned with his values. He understands that acting out of anger can lead to words and actions that are difficult to take back, and that the consequences of such behavior can have long-lasting effects on the relationship. By practicing restraint and focusing on constructive communication, a Stoic man ensures that conflicts are resolved in a way that is respectful and beneficial to both parties, rather than destructive and divisive. 5. Do not objectify her. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the belief in the inherent dignity and worth of every human being. According to Stoic teachings, every person should be treated as an end in themselves, not as a means to an end. Objectifying a woman, whether in thought or action, is a clear violation of this principle, as it reduces her to a mere object of pleasure, utility, or status, stripping her of her full humanity and individuality. A Stoic man sees a woman as a complete and complex individual with her own thoughts, desires, rights, and aspirations, not merely as an object to be used or possessed. Objectification is a form of dehumanization, and it is deeply contrary to the Stoic practice of justice and respect for others. When a man objectifies a woman, he is not only disregarding her autonomy and personhood, but also betraying the Stoic ideals of wisdom and compassion. A Stoic man understands that every individual deserves to be treated with dignity, respect, and empathy, and that reducing someone to a single aspect of their being, whether it be their physical appearance, social status, or any other characteristic, is a gross oversimplification that fails to recognize their true value. Objectification also leads to unhealthy dynamics in relationships, as it fosters a mindset of entitlement and possession, rather than one of partnership and mutual respect. A Stoic man rejects the tendency to objectify, knowing that it is rooted in selfishness, insecurity, and a desire for control, all of which are antithetical to the Stoic pursuit of virtue. By choosing to see and treat others, including women, as whole and autonomous beings, he aligns himself with the virtues of wisdom, justice, and humanity. He understands that true fulfillment in relationships comes not from possession or dominance, but from mutual respect, understanding, and shared growth. Objectification is a form of disrespect, and a Stoic man values respect above all, as it is the foundation of any meaningful and virtuous relationship. 6. Do not ignore her growth. Growth and change are fundamental aspects of human life, and Stoicism teaches the importance of accepting and adapting to these changes with grace and wisdom. Ignoring or dismissing a woman's personal growth, whether it be in her career, her personal development, her intellectual pursuits, or her spiritual journey, is not only unkind but also a sign of stagnation in one's own development. A Stoic man values the growth of those around him and actively supports it, understanding that growth is a sign of life, vitality, and progress. When a man ignores a woman's growth, he is effectively stifling her potential and undermining the principles of equality, respect, and partnership that are essential to a healthy relationship. A Stoic man recognizes that every individual has the capacity for growth and change, and that this growth should be celebrated and encouraged, not ignored or suppressed. Ignoring her growth is also a form of selfishness, as it places the man's comfort and sense of stability above the woman's need for self-actualization and fulfillment. A Stoic man understands that personal growth is a journey that should be supported and nurtured, not hindered or dismissed. He is secure in his own development and confident enough to support the growth of others, knowing that doing so enriches the relationship and contributes to a deeper, more meaningful connection. By being attentive and responsive to her growth, a Stoic man shows that he values her as a dynamic and evolving individual, not as someone who exists solely to fulfill his needs or expectations. He recognizes that true love and respect involve supporting each other's aspirations and encouraging each other to reach their fullest potential. Ignoring her growth is a sign of complacency and a failure to engage with the relationship in a meaningful way. A Stoic man avoids this by staying actively involved in his partner's life, taking an interest in her goals and achievements, and celebrating her successes as if they were his own. In doing so, he fosters a relationship that is not only supportive and nurturing but also deeply fulfilling for both parties. 7. Do not be overly attached. One of the central teachings of Stoicism is the idea that attachment to external things, including people, can lead to suffering and hinder our ability to live a virtuous and fulfilling life. A Stoic man understands that while it is natural to care deeply for a woman, becoming overly attached can create dependency, cloud judgment, and lead to unhealthy dynamics in the relationship. Over-attachment often stems from a fear of loss, a desire for control, or a lack of self-sufficiency, none of which are conducive to a balanced and harmonious partnership. A Stoic man practices a balanced approach to relationships, loving and caring for the woman in his life without becoming dependent on her for his happiness, sense of self-worth, or fulfillment. He understands that true love is about giving without expecting anything in return, and that over-attachment can lead to possessiveness, jealousy, and irrational behavior. By maintaining a healthy detachment, he is able to appreciate the relationship for what it is, a partnership between two individuals who choose to be together out of mutual respect and affection, rather than out of a need for validation or security. This perspective allows him to respond to challenges and changes in the relationship with clarity and calm, rather than with desperation, fear, or clinging. A Stoic man knows that his happiness and fulfillment come from within, from living in accordance with his values and virtues, and not from another person. By maintaining this inner strength and self-sufficiency, he is able to engage in a relationship that is healthy, balanced, and mutually enriching, free from the distortions of over-attachment and dependency. He recognizes that while it is important to cherish and value the woman in his life, he must also maintain his own sense of self, purpose, and identity, which allows the relationship to thrive without becoming a source of anxiety or instability. In doing so, he creates a foundation of mutual respect and understanding, where both parties can grow and flourish together, without the constraints of unhealthy attachment. 8. Do not make her the center of your universe. Stoicism teaches the importance of maintaining a clear sense of self and purpose, grounded in the understanding that our true fulfillment comes from living a virtuous life, rather than from external sources of validation or attachment. Making a woman the center of your universe is a form of idolatry that can lead to the loss of self-identity, purpose, and direction, as it places the entire burden of your happiness and fulfillment on another person. A Stoic man understands that while it is important to cherish and value the woman in his life, he must also maintain his own priorities, goals, and sense of self. By keeping his priorities in order and maintaining a balanced perspective, he is able to contribute positively to the relationship without losing sight of his own values and aspirations. Making someone else the center of your universe is a form of dependency that can lead to unhealthy dynamics, emotional instability, and a loss of autonomy. It creates an environment where one person is expected to meet all of the other's needs, which is not only unrealistic but also unfair and burdensome. A Stoic man knows that his happiness and fulfillment come from within, from living in accordance with his principles, and not from relying on another person to provide it. By maintaining this perspective, he is able to engage in a relationship that is healthy, balanced, and mutually enriching, where both parties are free to pursue their own goals and interests while supporting each other along the way. This approach fosters a sense of independence and mutual respect, where both individuals are valued for who they are, rather than for the role they play in fulfilling the other's needs. By not making her the center of his universe, a Stoic man ensures that the relationship is built on a solid foundation of shared values, respect, and understanding, rather than on dependency, expectation, or obligation. 9. Do not deceive her. Truth and integrity are cornerstones of Stoic philosophy, as they are essential to living a virtuous and authentic life. Deceiving a woman, whether through lies, half-truths, or omissions, is a direct violation of these principles and a betrayal of the trust that is the foundation of any healthy relationship. A Stoic man understands that deception is a form of cowardice, a way of avoiding the truth because it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, or potentially damaging to one's self-image or goals. However, the Stoic commitment to honesty and virtue demands that we face the truth, no matter how difficult, and that we communicate it with clarity and integrity. Deceiving a woman not only undermines trust, but also damages the relationship in ways that are often irreparable, as it creates an environment of suspicion, insecurity, and resentment. A Stoic man recognizes that truth is the foundation of any meaningful connection, and without it, there can be no real understanding, respect, or love. By being honest, even when it is challenging or uncomfortable, he demonstrates his commitment to the Stoic principles and to the well-being of the woman in his life. Deception is also a form of disrespect, as it denies the other person the right to make informed decisions based on the truth. A Stoic man values respect above all, knowing that it is the key to building and maintaining a relationship that is strong, healthy, and fulfilling. By choosing honesty and integrity, he ensures that the relationship is grounded in mutual trust, where both parties feel secure and valued for who they truly are, rather than for a false or manipulated image. 10. Do not fail to lead with virtue. Leadership, in the Stoic sense, is about guiding others with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, and it is a responsibility that every Stoic man takes seriously in his relationships. Failing to lead with virtue is a failure to live up to Stoic principles, as it means neglecting the values that are essential to a life of meaning and purpose. A Stoic man understands that his actions and choices set an example for the woman in his life, and that he has a responsibility to lead with integrity, compassion, and wisdom. This does not mean dominating or controlling, but rather inspiring and guiding in a way that fosters mutual respect, growth, and understanding. A Stoic man recognizes that true leadership is about serving others, helping them to grow, succeed, and flourish, while also holding himself to the highest standards of virtue and conduct. By leading with virtue, he creates an environment of mutual respect, where both parties feel valued, supported, and encouraged to be their best selves. Failing to lead with virtue can lead to a relationship that is fraught with conflict, misunderstanding, and disappointment, as it lacks the foundation of shared values and ethical principles that are essential for long-term success. A Stoic man takes this responsibility seriously, knowing that his actions reflect not only on himself but also on the values he holds dear. By leading with virtue, he ensures that his relationship is built on a solid foundation of respect, trust, and shared goals, where both individuals are committed to living in accordance with their highest ideals.